women's 4x200 meters relay final. The French, led off by Zahi, Rafai's there, Leduc and Paré. Lead leg on the left there, Carol Zahi. Here's a cheer. And a big bow for a big crowd from Japan, the host nation in the final in lane 8. Yamada, Miyake, Kodama and Ayono. The Germans straight out, no pausing at the gate there. Montag, Fem, Junk and Vesely. Here at China. Chaojing, Yongli, Lingwei, Manqi. The Jamaicans have loaded their lineup for the 4x2 with Olympic champions Elaine Thompson and also Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price joining Stephanie-Ann McPherson and Sharika Jackson. The United States, though, will have their eyes on this one as well. Kyra Jefferson, Shania Collins, Gabrielle Thomas and Jenna Prandini. Here come Ecuador. Villalba, Suarez, Landazuri and the talented junior Angela Tenorio. Kenya. Impressive display on the track just moments ago, and now Kadogo, Ndoro, Chirono and Wangi carry their hopes in the 4x2. And Papua New Guinea on the inside in lane 1 with Bu, Akpuk, Boafem and Monagi. You just feel the temperature raise a little more when the Japanese come out in any final here in this stadium tonight.
Can't you? It's one of those things where I think we're getting a little bit of a taste of what's to come next year in Tokyo. They're very parochial, they're very passionate about their Japanese athletes, and they're very supportive. They ride the bumps with them, the emotions that they have experienced through this weekend. There's been some highs, there's been some lows, and it feels like the crowd has ridden every emotion with them.
Yes, they've had kind of great highs and great lows over these 2 nights. The United States have Shania Collins on their second leg.
Well, she actually has the fastest time recorded ever in NCAAs in all conditions, and there is one of the stars of the Rio Olympics, Elaine Thompson. She's taking the first leg and she passes the baton to some quality athletes in her team, and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price will be running the third leg. So, you know, the last 3 Olympic gold medals are within that team for the 100 metres. Gabby Thomas for the United States. She won Lausanne Diamond League last year. She used to be a soccer player as a junior, and her mum, who was a former high jumper, pushed her into athletics. Good on you, Mum, Thomas.
And the French team with Carol Zahi, who will lead them off in the first leg. One of the challenges is the pacing in this race, isn't it? When you have such a huge stagger across the track.
It is tough, and it's one of those events where Jamaica is so loaded, but you cannot write off the United States. They have quality athletes in their quartet also.
The wind is continuing to swirl around the stadium here in Yokohama on a Sunday night. Just past 8 o'clock in the evening, local time. A straight final in the 4x200 meters for women. Have the Jamaicans got a record in their sights? There was talk of them trying to challenge the championship record mark of 1:29.04 as we see the French with Zahi and the Japanese with Yamada on the opening leg. Look at the roar and the smile from her. Jennifer Montag of Germany on the lead leg in lane 7. China with Yang Chaojing looking right down our camera lens there for us, and here is Elaine Thompson, the 2016 Olympic champion, Great reception for a great athlete. Kyra Jefferson of the United States on their lead leg, handing to the very fast Shania Collins in 2018. Ecuador, Virginia Villalba. Eunice Kadogo of Kenya will set the baton away for them. And Papua New Guinea, Leonie Bu on the inside. So final moments of contemplation before our next final. And for those, well, just an anxious wait before they can take their positions. Papua New Guinea 1, Kenya 2, Ecuador 3, USA 4, Jamaica 5, China 6, Germany 7, Japan 8, France 9. The women's 4x200 meters relay final. And for the first time at these world relays, the starter asks them to come out of the blocks.
Well, it didn't look like there was a problem with any of the athletes. They're getting shown a green card, so they're all okay. Just looked like a bit of a misfire from the gun.
Please, ladies, will you respond to the instructions when given? Do not come to the set position.
I think what they're saying is that someone must not have gone down into that position, which is understandable when the athlete in lane 9 is 100 metres, over 100 metres away.
Yes, about responding to the set position call, possibly. It's amazing how so many people can go so quiet.
I know. Feel that tension.
Confirmation a green card is shown, which means that nobody is at fault. And the full list of starters once more will settle down into their blocks. So a reminder of who we've got in this 4x200 meters relay final. Papua New Guinea in 1, Kenya in 2, Ecuador 3, the USA in 4, Jamaica 5, China 6, Germany 7, Japan 8, and France in 9. Total silence in the international stadium as we wait for the gun. They are away this time. Kyra Jefferson of the United States will go out hard and fast, but she'll be chasing Elaine Thompson, and that battle in lane 4 and 5, right in the centre of the screen. To look at Thompson now streaking down the back straight will be one to watch very, very closely as they approach these first handovers now. And the Americans will hand over, and a massive botch down, and the Jamaicans is almost gone, surely almost gone for the race, and that has blown this one wide open. They had such high hopes. They were talking about championship records, but in that first handover, with all the experience of Thompson to Stephanie-Ann McPherson, well, the chances have almost gone. Back out there in the rest of the field, the US still out there and trying to complete their next transition. On the outside as well, France have been going pretty well. But the drama still to be assessed, really, as Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce tries to haul something back.
Well, they've had messy changes, but Shelly-Ann Fraser has got them back into this race, and they've still got a chance for that gold medal.
The US have Gabrielle Thomas. They come to the final handover now. They need to be cleaner, but the Jamaicans are all over the place again. And the French, look at them on the outside. Also look at China. The United States coming round to the home straight, but the French with Paré have got a big lead here, but the Chinese are trying to hunt them down. The US with Jenna Prandini are finishing strongly, but France from lane 9 will win the 4x200 meters relay final as the US and China compete for second. And it was a catalogue of errors on a horrific relay final for such a talented Jamaican team. But it's France who are celebrating in Yokohama, and the Chinese are too. Another race with some unforgettable moments. France, though, victorious, and China held off the US for second place. The story may well be just what went wrong for Jamaica.
Well, The Jamaicans ran really nicely. It was just the problem of getting the baton so that they could run. They were some of the sloppiest changes I think I have ever witnessed. And that's the problem with 4x200s. You want to do that 4x100 slick change, but athletes get really tired at the back end of a 200. They're sprinting at top paces, and to try and change the baton when you're under fatigue, it just gets a little bit messy. And it was from the start. Elaine Thompson looked great. She was running beautifully out there towards the back end. We just had that issue when she tried to change the baton with shelly-ann McPherson. Here it is. You see she's coming in. She'll be getting a little bit fatigued. She puts the hand up. It's too high. shelly-ann McPherson just panicked. Elaine was going to get to her. She just panicked. And then because she panicked, she stopped. She just stopped dead. And we see here with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the same sort of thing happened. That was probably a little bit better than that first one that we saw. But Shericka Jackson with just too much work to do there in the final. But all credit to France, and that's what happens when you have 4 athletes that on paper aren't as fast. If you get those changes slick, you can come away with that first position.
And the Chinese holding on for second place. Haven't really focused too much on the American changes in that one as well. But
the US didn't actually run as well. You know, the Jamaicans were quality sprinting legs. They all ran quite well, but the US just looked like they were a little bit off their game. But it's early in the season, and I'm sure as the season goes on, all those ladies will lift.
Well, those 4 ladies go into a little bit of French athletics history. Zahi, Rafai, Leduc and Paré from lane 9. Victorious in a race just so full of incident. Incredible. And the inquest continues for the Jamaicans trackside. Some of the most botched handovers, unfortunately, you're going to see in a relay.
Yeah, and they're actually part of the same training squad, so you would think that they, as a team unit, they'd probably be the ones that would get closer to getting it correct.
Confirmation of the result, the women's 4x200 meters relay, and it was dramatic. The French taking victory ahead of China. The US pushed back to 3rd. Jamaica, for all the problems, came through and actually got 4th ahead of the host nation Japan. Germany, Ecuador and Papua New Guinea complete the lineup. Kenya didn't finish.